Hi Nirmala. Hello. Hello.
Good morning, Daya. How are you?
Hi. Morning. Morning. Good. So today, I think Preeti to join, right? So I'm using the same
Yeah.
server today. So that server
Oh,
is
you
completely corrupted. I'm
oh you
using the
have the
same
data?
server which you are using. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
we
I
have the
created the data now.
okay, okay.
Yeah, we have it. We have data. No problem. So you follow the same company code, so the same server, and it will
Mm-hmm.
work for you. Now I think that's we are all sharing the same server now.
Okay.
So let's see the same server. So will, I mean, so if you want, you can copy and create your own things also there. If you don't want, again, you just follow the same company code which I'm following.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So today we will see all the configuration. Let's Preeti also, let's her join.
Okay, we will wait for her.
Yeah. Yeah, this screen is looks little different. I mean, so in earlier server, basically we use this. I mean, in the same way, whatever we are using in the classic SAP menu SPRO path. But this is looks little different. But I think 1 or 2 days, you mean once you access 1 or 2 hours, then you'll be familiar with all the screens. Okay. So here are the two things again, the SPRO again, you'll have the path and a couple of things. If you wanted to go through Fiori, and you can go to this particular
Okay,
path,
launch pad.
Launchpad. And normally SPRO, all the configuration is SPRO only transaction code. And SAP menu, if you wanted to go SAP menu also, you can. Let me
Okay.
show. But this screen, I mean, all the options you will be get on the screen. So I will show you the differences also. For example, SAP menu and all these things are getting on user menu. Okay, so let's go to SPRO. So this is the configuration things you can do here. Reference IMG, and all these things. But this screen is looks little different for you. IMG. So everything is looks same here.
No, I see it as a blank actually. Okay, you are in work list. Okay.
Yeah, it's I'm able to see now.
Yeah, now we can able to see.
So asset accounting, new asset accounting. So everything looks same. So SPRO, there is no change at all. But sometimes what will happen is, for example, uh, I think it is not. I mean, it's almost looks same, but the save button and continue and all those things is come in the front end. So those things, I mean, it will takes time for at least if you access for half an hour, then it will be familiar with everything. Anyway, I will show you
Okay.
all. Okay, that is straightforward. As classic, I have designed the screen in the same way, so that's the reason you will be more comfortable there. But this also, I mean,
Okay.
you will be comfortable soon. Just you can do the practice of half an hour, then you'll be. So this is a migration thing. So these things we will discuss. I think let's Preeti also join. But So this is the same thing again we are doing in the migration steps also. There's a pre-migration and all those things yesterday what we are whatever we discussed, and where I mean the same thing we will do there. Again, path also is available here.
Okay.
Check prerequisites is for activating a new asset accounting, and these are all theoretically we discussed in the last class. So migration of chart of depreciation and display log. Okay, let's see
We didn't
this.
do the configuration, right? We didn't do the asset accounting configuration also, like.
We will do that. So I did it. So we'll follow the same thing. So 1710 you can follow.
Oh, 17.
So here
No.
basically you will get the new. I mean it looks new for you. So this you need to execute like this. Okay. So you're getting options here, right? So
You're in the
we need to execute
in the down. Okay, okay.
Okay.
That's what I'm checking. Where is the
And
execute
you can
button?
create. That's what these are all the new screens basically from Fiori, and they have configured in such a way, and that's why when you're getting new screens kind of here. But see, you can create your own variant also here. You can, if you want that regular transactions which are you executing, so same thing again repeating. So then you can create a variant also here, and same variant you can use for the fund.
Okay.
So here is giving the message migration is ended, client details. So this is already done. So migration is already done. We have already, this chart of depreciation is already migrated. So there's a log. You can see the log. So once you migrated, then if is there any errors or something, then it will give you the error messages. If you, I mean, if there are any things you need to rectify and all. So it's already migrated and it is successful.
Okay.
The client 800 and chart of depreciation 1710, which is already migrated. So perform additional manual activities. Basically, this is what we are additionally the adjustments point of view in the migration, which we are. Priti is joined. Priti, are you there?
No, she hasn't.
Let her join. We'll mix. Or anyway, I will record this session. Let's join. Meanwhile, just the migration part we will see. I'll share with her. So these manual activities, perform additional manual activities, basically on the classic system. So for example, you have only few depreciation areas, and now on S4HANA, you wanted to report for the more depreciation areas with respect to with accounting principles, different accounting principles. So that those are all the things we need to again get those inputs from the clients, and according to that we need to we need to capture all those requirements in the in our on the templates, and according to that then we will proceed for the configuration. In case if everything looks same as your classic, so then also basically these new dimensions which are coming, so that you need to take in care. In case if the new things are coming in, so that also we need to take in care. So that is what we need to do the adjustments. Adjustment means the classic to S4HANA, whatever the changes are coming in, that means that we need to take in care. In case as a client, anyway we are going on HANA, so in case you have a new requirement to report for the multiple depreciation areas with multiple accounting principles, that also we need to take in care. Okay, so both the requirements we will take it up, and then we will proceed further. So how we will for the same thing again we'll do the configuration. Where we'll do the configuration, that I will show you in the next steps.
Okay. Preeti is going to join in 5 minutes, she said.
So, so let's join. So I think only we will cover this. This anyway, again, it will come in the migration path, but just I'm covering here also. Again, we will discuss on the same thing, uh, especially in the migration part. So this check prerequisites. Anyway, let's her join. Before, I mean, once she joined, then I will start the configuration things. And this check prerequisites for the activation of new asset accounting. These are all we have discussed in the theoretical part. If you want to go for new asset accounting, so what are the prerequisites we need to set up? So those things we have already seen. So these are the prerequisites which I covered here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a prerequisite. Same thing it will tells you. So before pre-migration, we need to take in care of all these things. I think either we are good to go or not. So based on this, we will do. And the decision making also here, if you are on classic and if you are not on new AA, that is makes difference. And when you are on new AA already, new asset accounting you already implemented, and now you wanted to go on S4HANA, so that also little, I mean, it makes little different. And you are from directly from classic to S4HANA, if you wanted to go, first you need to go SAP, I mean, new asset accounting is a mandatory to go for S4HANA. Then classic to new asset accounting, you need to migrate first. Then I mean, you need to take it as a separate project. You need to implement it. Then we are good to go on S4HANA with new asset accounting. Okay, that is one thing we need to keep in mind. In interview also, people will ask all these questions. These are all the areas we need to focus. First thing is, for example, the scenario one, I'm on the classic. I'm on the classic. I wanted to go for on S4HANA directly. So is it possible or not? That is not possible because new asset accounting is a mandatory to go on S4HANA. So first you need to implement the new asset accounting, then you need to go for, then further you can go for S4HANA. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing is you already on new asset accounting, so then there is no problem. You can directly go for S4HANA. And in case if it is not there in the first scenario, you need to first you did as a separate project, you need to implement it, then you can go further on S4HANA with new asset accounting. These are the two scenarios, and the new GL also is coming to the picture. When new GL is coming to the picture, the scenario 3, I'm on classic. I don't want any features of fancy features of like your document splitting, whatever the new GL functionalities. Then what is the option for me? So this also will comes from the clients, and this also that makes sense when you go for interviews. People definitely will expect all these things, whether you have understanding or not. In this case, you can only go for the technical migration, which will make system to adjust for all the tables in the backend. Then you can go. But what will happen here? You will not get any features of the functionalities you cannot get on document splitting or all those stuff which are coming from. I mean, when you implement new GL accounting, what are the features you are getting? Those features you will not get. But only technically migration means only technically it will do the adjustments which will allow you to go on S4HANA. And you already there on NewsGL already is implemented, then there is no issue at all. And if you don't want to implement the scenario 5, if you don't want to implement document splitting, only you wanted to implement parallel ledger accounting, that is possible. The new asset accounting, if you again further to go on S4HANA, there is no issue at all. You don't want to implement, I mean, with new asset accounting also, you don't want to implement document splitting, that is also possible. And in the future, you wanted to implement document splitting functionality, that also possible. So these are all the 5 scenarios, I mean, we need to keep in mind. We should not confuse, and we should be very clear understanding on all these things. And second, and the prerequisites for new asset accounting is, so this we need to take care. So EFIN is required and for new AA, and hence it is S4HANA. That means, so in the, and the classic also EFIN is required for new AA. So that's why it is also mandatory when new AA is mandatory for S4HANA. These are all the prerequisites. I mean, this also one question will come basically. People can ask that. So what is the prerequisites if if I wanted to go for university accounting? So on S4HANA. So these are all the prerequisites which we need to take in care. First of all, you should EFIN should be active. Wait, EA should anyway it should be EFIN should be activated for the new AA. Okay, for the new AA is mandatory for S4HANA. So that is a link. So and second thing is it should not activated. These are all the modules which you need to take in care. I mean, if you're on classic and not activated EFIN, that you need to take it under the separate project and you will to take in care. And also following these enhancements, I mean, for with the EFIN, these three things will be available, right? Accrual engine, intercompany reconciliation, depreciation engine in asset accounting. But the first two is not mandatory with EFIN, but depreciation engine in asset accounting is mandatory. Okay. And also there are other couple of things which we need to take in care is from the other modules. For that's what the additional things which we are taking, the adjustments which we are taking care is for every additional currency type defined on the company code, corresponding depreciation areas need to be set up. This is what we are going to be doing in the configuration. So I will show you in the system. So whatever the currencies, for example, now I am reporting on the in the only one particular currency. I wanted to go for multiple currencies reporting. So those currencies we need to define first in for the ledger with the accounting principle combination. We need to maintain the currencies there for your company code at ledger level. The same currencies again you need to take in care in the asset accounting. Where we are doing that I will show you. Okay. So same thing, and the potential problem same. These new adjustments we need to do for the multiple currencies reporting and whatever you wanted to do, and whatever the accounting principles you wanted to report, whatever the depreciation areas you wanted to additionally add. So those are all the prerequisites which we need to take in care, and those are all the adjustments, configurations, and all those things we need to do before migration. Okay. And if maybe currently the depreciation areas every single parallel currency, that's what this currencies part we will discuss in the system directly. And other things is basically your new general ledger accounting is active or not. So this is we already discussed. And joint venture accounting, leased accounting, and all these things should not be active. Classic real estate management, joint venture accounting, leased accounting, these are all should not be active. There should not be any open request. Okay, from I mean, there should not be open request from the public sector or funds management point of view. And all the periodic postings are successful. I mean, all the periodic activities should be successful. There should not be any termination. And all the relevant depreciation areas for parallel currencies should be exist. So all the relevant depreciation areas for parallel currencies exist. This we need to do the configuration adjustment things, because these are all the, for example, you wanted to report for the multiple currencies for the new requirement, or the new accounting principles are coming in. You wanted to add more dimensions there. So those are all we need to do. So that setup I will show you. That is one configuration we are going to be do. Is Preeti is joined or still?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi Preeti. Yeah. Okay. So Preeti, just I think you have, I mean, I will anyway share once again. So I did not cover anything. Just I'm whatever we covered earlier. So just again I mean recalling that. Okay. The prerequisites point of view I'm talking now here.
Okay, that's fine.
So because we are going to do the same setup. So all the relevant depreciation for the parallel currencies should be exist. That means, so the configuration point of view, the changes I will highlight once again. So then we will go and do the same thing, and rest which are same from the classic, that anyways that is same. So we need to, for example, the account determination part, or the GL accounts creation, and mapping the GL accounts to the in the account determination screen. So those are all same. There is no change in that. The only change is, so these are the highlighted one. The only configuration changes on S4HANA with new AA is only these things we need to take in care. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things we need to take in care. This is very important. Define depreciation area for ledger approach or accounting, whatever. but SAP is recommending to go with the ledger approach, because we are going with usual things, and this will make sense also. Okay, and accounting approach also it is possible. So how it will make difference, these two things also we will see. And define technical clearing account, this is also at chart of accounts level we can create with the combination of your chart of accounts and account determination point of view. For example, for single different asset classes, for my fixed assets I wanted to differentiate with a different technical clearing account, that is also possible. Okay, and those two configurations we will see. And this is at chart of accounts level we can create the technical clearing account, and also chart of accounts plus account determination combination, also we can define the technical clearing account. That means the different asset classes wanted to I mean you wanted to track under with the different technical clearing accounts, that is also possible. This is the second configuration we'll do. And define depreciation areas since quantity update, so this we already discussed. So this is one more configuration is a new on S/4HANA. And define alternative document types for original transaction types, so this also we will see. And define revenue distribution for the fixed asset retirement, so these are all the only new configurations coming in. Okay, so but finalization of these things and getting the requirement from the business, and those are all the things you need to take in care. So according to the business requirement, again we need to collect DCS, whatever in the I mean normal terminology, whatever you call DCS data collection sheet, which you will collect all the requirements from the client, and you need to capture all those things from the in the templates. So same in the same way, again you need to do the configuration. So before finalization of your depreciation areas and reporting to the multiple currencies, multiple depreciation areas and accounting principles, those things we need to take in care. We need to collect the data from the client. We need to take those inputs from the client. Then further to that, so once we capture those things in particular, I mean, you use either template is a spreadsheet or whatever. So you capture all those things, then you need to go for further. You can configure the same thing. So let's see. For our requirement is, let's take the one scenario and we will see that. Okay. This is what check prerequisites, we are talking about that. So anyway, in the migration also, these are all the things will come, and here also you they given. So the same path you will get in the migration path also. So first we need to migrate the chart of depreciation, and if this log will shows whether is you are good to go or is there any errors. For example, you have done some mistakes, so then it will show you those errors, and then you need to rectify all those things. For example, I have not defined my chart of depreciations according to, I mean, I did not sync up my currency setup with from GL to asset accounting, then it will throw you the error. So then you need to rectify all those things, and then it will allow you to move forward. Okay, so and further thing is the check the prerequisites. Just now we discussed on the prerequisites. So prerequisites, I mean, all those things also we need to take in care. And finally we need to I mean, this activation of new AA is mandatory. So this, without this we cannot go for on, we cannot I mean uh, go further on especially on S/4HANA. This new AA should be mandatorily activated. Okay, so for EFIN, so for example EFIN, that's what, if you are still on classic and EFIN you'll that EFIN should be activated in separate with a separate project, and then you go for new AA, then you can go for an S/4HANA. So those three things you need to keep in mind. If you are in classic or if you're already on new AA, that won't be make much differences, but you're only on classic, which you're not getting the functionalities of new AA and all. So then first you need to go for new AA, then you need to go for S/4HANA. Okay, so this is what I mean, finally once we activated the new AA, then we will get the functionalities of, then we need to we are good to go on S/4HANA. So all the adjustment of new asset accounting, so these are all the adjustment. For example, you wanted to parameter for the chart of depreciation. For example, now the new dimension is coming, the third level dimension is your accounting principles. So those things also we need to do the adjustments, things we need to take in care, and according to that we need to configure new accounting principles, new depreciation areas, new currencies reporting, and all these things we need to take in all these inputs from the client, and according to that we need to do the adjustments. Okay, so for it, So migration is already done, so that's the reason it is not giving any problem in this thing. But all the adjustment, whatever you wanted to do, that's what, there should not be any inconsistency between your GL and A and all those things. Okay, so when the inconsistencies will come, that we will discuss in the actual, I mean, in the further configuration things. Okay. So organization structure, I will highlight those which are coming new configurations, so highlighted in the those 5 areas. So remaining all look same. Okay, check country specific settings. So this is same, and copy reference of chart of depreciation areas. This earlier so this is a new things. Basically, what is a new dimension is coming here is, so we need to be little careful here. So what is the new dimension is coming here? So in the earlier screens, did you see this? Preeti, did you observe this? Basically, do you have this dimension in the previous screen? On the class?
Accounting in the classic now.
Yeah, this is what, this is a one configuration. So whatever we are talking about, this depreciation areas, the ledger approach. Okay,
So
accounting
there'll be
approach.
accounting principle that we can link to the
Yeah, this is a
depreciation.
completely new configuration. It's a completely new configuration. Earlier we used to have only depreciation areas. We would have not get this particular option. This is the third level dimension is accounting principles. Okay, so now we are getting the third level dimension is accounting principles. So okay, so
What
when
if
you ascend that,
what if we want to calculate IFRS and GAAP on book depreciation, for instance, both?
that's what, for example,
Let me just leave it
my
blank.
client, if you don't want to have the reporting, then you need not to configure this.
No. What I'm saying is, what if we want to have IFRS and GAAP both on book depreciation?
Yeah, you need to configure in such a way. So both on these things means you need to configure your I mean basically your ledger, whatever you are using for your big book depreciation. So I will show you step by step. Basically, for example, you want IFRS also for the book depreciation, then you can create in the same way, assign this to the ledger 0L, then you can get the reporting for book depreciation for IFRS also. Let's
Oh,
see little, let's dig into the system. So let me give the more inputs here so that you'll be clear on this part. I'll go to the other screen where we are, how we need to do sync up and how we need to. So we have done the settings in the GL part, right? So in the GL, what we did, so we have created the ledger, we have created the currency types there, we have defined the accounting principles there for each and every, I mean, for our company code, we have defined the ledger as well as accounting principles, and for the ledger we have defined the currencies, correct? So those things we will check once again. So how we are defining these, how those are having implications on your this particular configuration, and what we need to take in care, how we need to sync up, those things we will discuss here. Okay, let's go to more details here. So here we are defining the ledger, right? So ledgers and currency types we are creating, and we are creating the ledger groups and defining the settings for the ledgers and currency types. This we already done, right? So we knows how to do the setup, but it should be sync up with your new AA as well. So let's see. For example, my for 0L. For 0L, my company code is 1710, right? For the 1710, I have ledger group, local gap, 0L. For ledger group 0L, for my company code 1710, I assigned accounting principles LG. Okay, let's see other things also, whatever we configure. So LG and IFRS. IFRS which I define, IFRS I assign to my ledger group 2L, right? So let's see that as well. The 2L, IFRS I define for my ledger group 2L, I assigned IFRS. So for your question, Preeti, basically if you wanted to see your book depreciation with with accounting principles IFRS, also it is possible. Okay, what you can do is for the 0L, so now I have only one accounting principle, right? Now I have one accounting principles. So what I need to do is, basically if you want the reporting in such a way, you need to assign one more accounting principles is IFRS here.
Okay, all right.
I think
So
I
we
was
can
not
assign,
added.
so we
Yeah,
can assign multiple accounting principle
accounting
on one
principles.
ledger.
Yes.
Okay.
So my requirement is, you see, if you have, that is possible. You may get requirements from the clients in different ways, but you can play with this. If you wanted to report for the 0L, the book depreciation with IFRS, then you can add more accounting principles here. That is one thing we need to take in care. This should be sync up. Okay, and let's see other things. So when I say it is, for example, LG, IFRS and LG. So when I say it is LG is a local gap, then from the, for example, let me say it is IFRS. So what it is changing here, it is going to getting something here. Basically IFRS, when I select it as IFRS, then it's automatically it is picking 2L. The ledger group is automatically picking. That means it is deriving the ledger from accounting principles. If you assign the accounting principles, whatever the accounting principles you assign here, for example, for my 0L, I assign my ledger, local gap. So let me change that again. So you will feel the difference. What it is showing here, 0L. How it is picking? I assign my ledger group 0L, my accounting principles to ledger group 0L.
Okay.
So it will
Can you
derive. It will
okay? Can you
derive the value.
okay?
Go
Can you
ahead.
add IFRS there by removing to the 2L? Remove the ledger 2L, like the assignment of IFRS, and add it to the 0L and see what accounting. It's like, see, like what you got my point, right? I basically like assign two accounting principles to the 0L.
Okay.
Then in that case, like, how will it be displayed?
That means you assign here. When you wanted to assign one more IFRS accounting principle here.
Yeah, first you need to remove the 2L ledger, it looks like, right? Because you have assigned your 1710 company code, you assigned 2L also ledger and assigned IFRS. If you remove that and add IFRS or add like one more name, you need not to be like IFRS, add US GAAP. US GAAP I don't think is available, right? Just add that into that 0L ledger.
Okay, no, basically we have only two ledgers here. two accounting principles here. That is what you, if you want US GAAP or whatever, that
Yeah,
also
can you
possible.
add? Yeah, can you add one more US GAAP to this 0L here?
Okay, you can
I think
add
have
one more.
to go to, yeah.
Okay, so let's do one thing. So let's understanding the basic, not basic thing. This will be give a clear picture. If we wanted to do more experiments, we can do it, but again, it will take us for again confusion kind of thing. Let's do with the simple things. Then we will add more things. So otherwise, again, the multiple things will be confused. So if you want, you can assign the multiple things. So you can, if you wanted to assign one more depreciation area here, one more accounting principles, you can do it. But according to me, basically first you understand one scenario, then you can add up more. So then it will be good. The scenario basically, if you want to add, so okay, the only the thing it will be difference is if you add one more accounting principles here, that means you wanted to report for one more accounting principles also, then it is you can add one more accounting principles, and the same way we need to configure this.
No problem, we will play with it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, but initial things, let's do it, then we will do the experiments also. This I added more here, almost LG 2L and IFRS LG and all more depreciation areas. I thought to only do it for two, basically for initially. So then let's add more and do the things. But understanding is important here is basically one thing is how many you want, you can add. So for example, my 0L, in my requirement, my client wanted to see the reports in such a way. They wanted to see the 0L with accounting principles local GAAP. For the local GAAP accounting principles, they wanted to see the, I mean they wanted to see the reports. They wanted to assign these accounting principles to ledger group. So they wanted to see the reports for the local GAAP, okay, with the ledger 0L for my I mean in the same way I have to do the setup. So in the same way ISIT accounting, I wanted to see my book depreciation area for accounting principles, so local GAAP. Okay, so that these things we need to take in inputs from the client, and this both the things should be sync up. In case the difference is here, for example, you wanted US GAAP also. My book depreciation area I wanted to show for my additional accounting principles like US GAAP. Okay, so then what I will do, I'll add one more accounting principle here, US GAAP. Okay, further again I need to do the setup here. Okay, the same thing again I need to report for my US GAAP also. Okay, let's don't go for multiple things at a time, so let's do one by one. So first we will do this, and if you want do experiment, you do experiments in all the ways also not possible. Okay, for my client is wanted to see only the book depreciation area with accounting principles local GAAP, and my client wanted to see only IFRS accounting principles with IFRS with a combination of this ledger group for IFRS and local currency as well as in the group currency. Okay, so this is my requirement, and for the tax purpose again I wanted to report for accounting principles LG and the alternative minimum tax and adjustment current earnings and corporate earnings, whatever the requirements. If you don't have then we need not to go for all these things. Okay, but actual thing what we need to understand here is earlier we don't have this dimension and we need not to sync up also here, but now we need to uh, first of all whatever the requirements you wanted to have, I mean whatever the requirements from the clients you are receiving, so for that first of all you need to do the setup for those ledgers and those accounting principles and all those stuff in GL part. Then you need to go further and you need to again sync up in the same way for the asset accounting. And one thing is this, and second thing is you have the currencies part. Currencies I have created here local currency and the group currency. So if you wanted to report for the multiple currencies, okay, this also need to be sync up. Okay, if you are maintaining 2 currencies for your ledger, then it should be 2 currencies twice you need to maintain here for your depreciation area. Just you need to copy it. There is no delta depreciation area concept here, so it is not required, as we discussed earlier. So that's just what we need to do is while doing your configuration, you will face this problem. So you need to copy that, for example, my book depreciation area or my IFRS, whatever. So you have 2 things, and additionally you wanted to report for 2 more additional currencies. Then you need to copy it, and just you can maintain twice here, and then you need to do the setup for the currencies in the other configuration node that I will show you. Let's sync up that as well. Let me open that screen as well. These are all the areas are painful while we are facing in the real time as well. So go to go to evaluation here. Go to currencies here. So this need to be sync up. Basically, you whatever the currencies you are reporting. So for example, you have requirement for multiple currencies, 2 currencies you wanted to report. For the 2 currencies, you need to do the setup here. So this should be sync up between your currency setup between whatever the currencies you are assigning to the ledger. For that ledger, so for example, I need reporting for the 2 currencies. You need to mention here for my book depreciation area, for my local cap currency, I wanted to report in this particular currency. Okay, and for IFRS and for IFRS group currency, so whatever you wanted to do, so you can assign here. And 2 currencies you wanted to if you wanted to report for 2 currencies, those 2 currencies you need to assign here. 2 currencies you need to define in the same way that I wanted to report for 2 currencies here. Let's see other things as well. This is one more. So those which currencies you wanted to report, those currencies you need to define here. Those currencies, this will be automatically picked up from your for additional currencies, whatever you wanted to report, those additional currencies you need to define here. You need to mention here. And one more rule is here. Basically, you wanted to go for multiple currencies, 2 currencies you wanted to report twice, you need to maintain the depreciation area. Okay, that's why I took it the book depreciation area, local gap twice, LG, and IFRS local currency, group currency, because 2 currencies I wanted to report. You can do. I kept it as a USD only, but if you wanted to go for additional currency as euro, you can go for additional currency as euro. Okay, so you forget about this, but if you want for multiple reporting for the 2 currencies, you need to sync up with, you need to maintain your depreciation area for this in the same way for the 2 currencies. You one time for local currency, one time for group currency, and same thing for the book depreciation area, also one time for book depreciation area, for one time for local cap and group currency, one time is in local currency. So 2 times you need to, I mean, if you have a the requirement for two currencies, 2 times you need to maintain your depreciation area. One is for local, one is for group, whatever. And the same way you need to sync up in this here also. So for IFRS local currency, IFRS group currency, whatever the currencies you want, you can take those currencies here. And book depreciation local gap, so you need to sync up here. And then here also the same thing, again you need to sync up in the general ledger also. Okay, GL accounting, that ledger level, whatever the currencies we are defining, that also should be defined in the same way. If you don't have currency there, you maintain only for local currency and not maintain for the group currency or something, then you cannot add those currencies here. Okay. So for example, my ledger level, so I maintain only two currencies here, currency 1, currency 2, local and group currency. So in the same way I defined here my depreciation areas as well. In case if you don't have the group currency here, if you try to maintain that, then it will not allow. In case if I wanted to have one more requirement, I wanted to report in one more currency, third currency, then I have to go for additional currency here, the third currency. Okay, we can define third currency here by saying this, and this third currency in the same way, third time again we need to define one more time whatever the currency requirement you have, that naming convention we need to give, and also we need to we need to again maintain one more currency here. For example, I have only requirement for group and local and group. If you have any additional requirement for to report your depreciation area or in additional currency, again you need to add one more row here, and whatever the currency you wanted to report, that currency you need to give here. Clear? I think it's a single time. Maybe if you have any doubts here, you can ask me. I think I'm giving more inputs. We may confuse.
So are you saying, so for example, 31, if we want to have another 31, can we have another 31 with a different currency? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. See, for example, my 31 depreciation area 31, if I wanted to report for one more currency, then I need to add one more currency here. I need to add one more line and add the same currency here. Then I can able to get the reports in the same way for third currency as well. But unfortunately, I took it only USD. But you can differentiate with, if you wanted to report for other euro or whatever, GBP or whatever.
Can you add one more currency to 31, for example?
31. So 31, if you wanted to add, then we need to create the one more depreciation area. That will take a lot of time. So we need to take.
So you have to create another depreciation area duplicate of 31 to add 31. One more currency?
Yes.
Okay.
31 again we need to create, and also we need to assign USD or a GBP. If you have, for example, the same thing for my book depreciation, I wanted to see another currency of GBP. Then I add one more line for the book depreciation area and add the GBP here.
Okay, so we can add two of them. Okay, for each currency.
Yes, up to 10 currencies you can show up your depreciation areas. The 10 currencies, same thing again you need to maintain in the GL part also. Got my point? This is a maximum reporting which we can do. The additional 8 currencies which we can define in the general ledger, so that is a maximum we can do. So up to 10 currencies, if you wanted to, report for your big depreciation area, add 10 lines here, and whatever the currencies you want, you can define, you can assign here. So in the same way, you will get the reports. So now we have, I took only 2 because I don't want to confuse you more. So this is more than enough to understand. So that's the reason I took only two book depreciation areas, and that's why I maintained only USD, because I have a constraint in the same thing from the settings from the GL. So that's the reason only I took USD. So generally, if you wanted to take Euro also, you can take it the Euro, okay, Euro or whatever other currencies. So you change the same thing in the general ledger settings, and it will be changed here, and you can add one more things here. Okay. So we will see the reporting part. So how we will get the report. So now I defined for the two depreciation areas. Let's take don't take on all the depreciation areas, only you forget about these depreciation areas which I have added. So you take only the book depreciation area, local currency in group currency, and IFRS local currency in group currency. Only these 4 we will see. So how we are getting the reports in the front end. But here the rule number one is basically the additional dimensions, whatever you wanted to add, those requirements we need to take from the client, and also we need to do the configuration here for the accounting principles, whichever you wanted to report, whichever the ledgers you wanted to report for the accounting principles, whichever you wanted to attach with those account ledgers. For example, for my 0L, I wanted to attach accounting principles LG, so that's why I added LG local GAAP. For ledger group 2L, I attached IFRS because I wanted to get the reports with the accounting principles IFRS. Okay, so in case you want US GAAP, then add 2 more. You can add one more. If you wanted to use a different ledger there, again you can add US GAAP also. Or for the same ledger, if you wanted to, for example, my 0L, I have only LG here. For the 0L, I wanted to add one more accounting principles I wanted to add. Then you can add in the general ledger first IFRS also, or US GAAP. Again, don't want to confuse with using the same IFRS word here. So let's if you wanted to do experiment, what you can do is add US GAAP in general ledger accounting for the 0L here. Okay, so for 0L, I think you can add US GAAP one more accounting principle here, and the same thing you maintain here. Again, the book depreciation area for the 0L, if you want to report for the 2 currencies again for the US GAAP, you need to add 2 more lines, okay, and attach the depreciation US GAAP here. Then automatically it will pick the 0L only there, and for the 2 currencies which you are maintaining, and for those things you will get the reports for the US GAAP as well. Got it? But this understanding is very important, because in the real time also you will face a lot of issues here. If you now don't have understanding of here, then it is very difficult to do the configuration. Have any doubts, you can ask me now.
So
Getting?
you're saying have one more line, meaning one more book depreciation. For instance, book depreciation, have one more big book depreciation for IFRS. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. For example, you have one more accounting principles added. Let me go slowly.
To the ledger,
For
right?
my 0L, my 0L, now I have only one accounting principle. If I wanted to show my 0L for my book depreciation area, I wanted to report in US GAAP also. Then what I need to do is add US GAAP here as one more accounting principle. Point number 1. Then what you need to do, go here and maintain your big depreciation area again for your US GAAP, which you are maintaining here. One line US GAAP you are adding here, and add one line again here with US GAAP. In case if you wanted to report in the single currency.
When you say one more line, meaning one more line with depreciation area?
Yes, the same book depreciation area. Okay, this will not change, only this will change. US GAAP will come because you are reporting for the account with the accounting principles US GAAP also for book
Okay.
depreciation, right? So the book depreciation area, book depreciation, you are reporting in the US GAAP accounting with the combination of your accounting principles US GAAP also. So then you use the same book depreciation area you are attaching to your US GAAP. Then you can able to get the report. And if you wanted to add, I mean, report for the multiple currencies, that means 2 currencies, then you add one more line. Then in the same way, again, you need to add currency also here, one more. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Because there are a lot of people, I mean, in the real time, in the multiple projects, I mean, the people are coming to us and asking, oh, we are getting error, we are getting errors here, because they are not syncing up. The only problem will come, we should be very careful while doing the configuration. Whatever the, I mean, this should be sync up with your GL, this should be again sync up, I mean, this should be again configured for the currencies. The rules are, rule number 1 is the chart of depreciation. First of all, we need to create the ledger in GL. We need to attach the accounting principles there. If you have, let's take only one accounting principle there. One accounting principles is I have only LG there. Again, for the LG, the depreciation area you wanted, which for example, my book depreciation area, I wanted to report for the LG. Then you come to this OADB transaction code. You need to define the book depreciation area, and you need to attach the accounting principle LG here. Okay, LG here. In the same way, that is one thing. And if you wanted to report for the multiple depreciation areas, you add. If you wanted to report for the multiple accounting principles, add one more accounting principles there. Then you can attach the same thing by using the same depreciation area. And third thing is currencies. Currencies, whatever the currencies you are maintaining there, the same currencies you need to report here. If you wanted to have a requirement for the multiple currencies reporting, the same currencies you need to maintain the depreciation area here, as well as the same currencies we need to define in general ledger as well. Clear? You do some copy this and don't create all these depreciation areas. Create one company code and don't create all these depreciation areas. First, what you do is, only to make you understand, I created multiple here, but create only one depreciation area for your company code. Then add one more depreciation area, one accounting principle, one ledger, and one depreciation area. Do experiment with this. Then you can add multiple accounting principles, again multiple depreciation areas, multiple accounting principles you can attach for your depreciation areas, and also add more currencies. Then you will see the differences. But the end of the practice, you will learn only these things. Hello, somebody is there?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Okay, fine.
It's my computer. It just says the time. There's a clock going on.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. So you're getting all these points clearly, or do you have any doubts here?
No, it makes sense. I mean, just saying we have to create another line item for the
Yes,
for the
but
currency.
only the thing is, you do experiments here, but don't do you practice with all the things now at a time. First you add only single thing, then you go for multiple things, then you will see the difference. Okay, so how we are getting the reports, so that we will see in the next coming slide, coming configurations. And let's do some experiments also. Whatever the documents are posted, I will show you. This is one area which is very critical area, and it is very painful area. You can say it looks simple, but in the real time, if you miss any rule, then you will get the errors there. It should be sync up with your GL, and should be the currencies which you are reporting and accounting principles which you are attaching to your depreciation areas, and accounting principles which you are attaching for your ledgers, and the currencies which you are maintaining for your ledger and the currencies you are maintaining in the AA, this all should be sync up. Otherwise you will get the errors, and this is a prerequisite, and and that is what yesterday we have seen in the pre-migration steps. This step will be there. Unless you do this, you cannot go for the migration. Okay, so do some practice here, so you'll be very clear on this part, because the multiple screens and multiple things which we need to take in care and should be sync up. I shown everything, but I mean, this will, you add only book depreciation area and try to experiment there, and slowly you can add one more depreciation area and accounting principle, attach more experiments. But finally the result will be the same. I mean, whatever the principles I'm saying, so same principles, it will be applicable, and in the same way you will get the reports. This is one area. Let's go to further configuration nodes. This is very important area basically. Closing all. And rest of the things all same, no I mean change from your classic to here. For the new asset accounting, whatever you are doing, in the same way we are doing here also. Depreciation and asset classes, there nothing is changed here, everything is look same. Generate asset classes from GL, specify account determination. So your account determination and all this stuff is same. Your asset classes, creation, number ranges for asset classes, and screen layouts for asset classes. This is not changed at all. So everything is looks same here. Okay. You can create or you can copy from my company code, and you can create the GLs, do account determination, all those things you can do it. Wherever changes coming in, we'll see. And this one integrated with general ledger accounting also. How depreciation posted to SNGL account. These are all the same. So only this technical clearing account, this is one more configuration is added on S/4HANA. So this configuration define technical clearing account for integrated asset acquisition. So I define this 160. Let's see this in my chart of accounts also. So basically this is two levels we can create. One thing is at chart of accounts level we can create this. Let's see our chart of accounts. So I created in all the things, so it is taking. But so you can create, one thing is you can create your at your chart of accounts level. And second thing is you can also use the combination of your account determination, technical clearing account with required with account determination. For example, if I wanted to differentiate with different account classes, I mean asset classes, I wanted to show with different technical clearing account. I wanted to differentiate for each and every asset class. So then you can use this. In case you don't want it to differentiate for all the asset classes, you wanted to use the same technical clearing account, then you can use a same technical clearing account. You need not to mention here anything. Okay, so why we are using this technical clearing account? We have discussed this in the previous class. What is the purpose of this?
So that we can actually, so when we have from supply chain or somewhere we are flowing into fixed asset, we can always post to technical clearing account first, and then we can nullify that when we post to fixed asset.
True. So what is the purpose of that? Why
It's like a holding account basically. If you're not able to post directly to the fixed asset.
Good. So basically the point is here we are added a third dimension as accounting principle. So for example, my IFRS will says to capitalize something. For example, my freight expenses, my IFRS is saying that you can capitalize it, but my local GAAP is saying that don't capitalize it. So then in the first leg, basically it will be posted only for the technical clearing account, and then it will be in the second leg, it will be posted for asset according to the valuation methods. For my IFRS valuation method, so I wanted to capitalize. My local GAAP, I don't want to capitalize. In the same way, in the second leg, it will be posted. So for that, it is helping. Okay. So in the back end, I mean,
so does that mean when we don't have when we are only using US GAAP and the company is not using IFRS, so we don't need a technical clearing account?
Technically speaking, basically, if you are not using, because you are using the dimension is added, so basically you can not. I mean, if you have the single accounting principle also, basically you need to create the technical clearing account. But the thing is there it will be shows with only your particular accounting principles. Only one entry it will be shows, but the entry will be again one entry means the only one accounting principles it will shows the entry. If you have multiple accounting principles, let me show you that. We will come to that part in the next coming these things, the front end part. So then it will be shows only for one single one depreciation area, one accounting principles you have. But anyway, it will be posted for the technical clearing account first, then it will be posted to the asset at the second leg. So one is a user entry point of view, and second thing is a valuation point of view. So valuation point of view, again it will be the second leg, it will be valuated according to your accounting principle which you attach it for your depreciation area for book depreciation. For example, here is LG, so it will be posted in the second leg only. But I mean, when you're asking that without technical clearing account, we can go ahead with only when you have a single accounting principle. That's also not possible. Now technical clearing account is mandatory because you are adding the one more dimension here. In the future, you wanted to add one more accounting principle, you will get the two documents will be generated there at the valuation level. So the one document is for IFRS, one document is for LG. In case you have only one depreciation area there and one accounting principle, you will have only one document generated. You can see there. That is the only difference you can see. But it is mandatory anyway.
Okay.
Okay. So those things we will see. Let's complete the configuration, then we will see the front end things also. And integrated document type for accounting principles and documents. So here specify the alternate document type for accounting principles specified documents. So this is also one more new configuration. So generally I did not use it, but for example, it will be posted for my accounting principle. Now I have two depreciation areas. Let's take I have two depreciation areas. First, what it will do, it will be posted for my, when it will be posted, it will be called the default document type, asset accounting AA document type. For accounting principles IFRS, instead of AA, I wanted to track under for example, my LG, I wanted to see under different document type there. Instead of AA or JDA or ZB or whatever you wanted to, you can create your document types, G document types, whatever you wanted to differentiate, that you can assign here. So then, for example, I wanted to differentiate my document, my entry with the document type for accounting principles LG with ZA, and ZB is for accounting principles IFRS. In that way, you can track. I mean, it will be easier to track. So you can assign your different document types for the different entries for your different combination of your accounting principles and depreciation area. That is also possible. Okay, you don't want that, you need not to use that. You don't give any configuration here. But if you really wanted to track, that will be easier. For example, my accounting principle, I have 100 documents. What are the entries posted only for my accounting principle IFRS? Then I can track it. When I say it is JDA, okay, JDA is relevant for accounting principle IFRS. So these are all the entries relevant for that. So I can easily identify that. So for that, you can do this configuration. Got it? Clear or any doubt here?
No, it makes sense. I think we'll have to do it ourselves and just to see the results.
Okay.
Maybe we will.
So generally, if you wanted to differentiate, then you can do that configuration. Otherwise, by default one, you can take it up. AA only, asset account. So in case you wanted to differentiate different document types, you can differentiate that as well. Okay. So we can by company code also we can differentiate by company code, original transaction type, and derived document type. So these things also is possible. We give an option, but most of the time we are not using that. Okay, and there is what defined depreciation area for the quantity update, alternate document for the original transaction type. We are doing the same thing there, and we will see the rest of the things also. Is for asset accounting and change field status, and these are all not changed. These are also same. Document type across company code, asset accounting codes, intervals, posting rules. So this one we can see here little change. These are all absolute settings. I will show you here. Which earlier we used to have one more radio button here, which is relevant for the functionality smoothing. Used to get here smoothing function option here. I think we already discussed on that smoothing concept, but that is not there here now. You cannot identify. That is absolute setting I can say here. The posting rules, you are not identifying that. You cannot see that option now. Okay. And country functions required general. And define depreciation areas, and this one is a new one. Define depreciation area for quantity update. So when you say it is for the quantity update, you can if you say it is a quantity update, then it will track for this particular depreciation area whatever the documents you posted. So it will be updated with the quantity. Okay. It's a small configuration, is a minute level things. These are all basically it's not making much sense. Even we are not using these things. And what is the other thing? So fixed asset retirement.
What does it mean? Update with quantity. What does that mean?
So quantity means, for example, you have you are procuring the asset from. For example, you have the laptops 10 number 10. You want
the number of assets.
Yes, number with you wanted to update with a measure. You wanted to measure with a quantity number. So then it will be when you posted the documents for this particular this particular deposition area, uh, the document will be tracked with the number, the quantity also. Got it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And specific transactions, customize deposition terms for asset classes and deactivate asset. So these are all the options are available the same as your classic only. Say deposition terms and amount specification, fiscal years, currencies. I already shown this. This also available. Basically, this is also looks same as in your new A only. Nothing is changed here, but fiscal year specification, and these are all the same thing. So final thing I wanted to show you one more. Assign accounts and all same. Special valuation also same. Retirement. Different transaction types for manual depreciation, budget. These are all some default transaction types, different transaction types, different transactions. One more area is there. Basically, this one is defined revenue is from fixed asset retirement. So this one retirement. Yeah, this one is one more new defined revenue distribution for fixed asset retirement. So here we will give the base. Basically for revenue distribution method we are giving here. So how, for example, when I retire the asset, so how you wanted to, I mean, what you wanted to take it as a base, either is APC or net book value. So this is also one more new configuration they given. Okay. So if you wanted to take it as a base of APC, then you can take it as a base as APC. If you wanted to take as a net book value for your revenue distribution, you can take it as for net book value. Okay. This is the last configuration. Basically, there are only 5 configurations which is changed, and everything, every other configuration is looks same. You're defining your GLs and account information, asset classes, and all those things are changed. Even the depreciation key and everything is looks same. So nothing is changed there. And let's see some documents also which I posted. filter it.
What are we doing right now?
I wanted to show some documents which I posted. This is filtering. See, we can see here. So this is a acquisition. This is a I mean external asset acquisition basically which it did. So we procured the asset from procure the asset. So how it is looking for, I mean how when I see the documents point of view, how it is posted, we will see. Clear? So I mean I have defined the accounting principles there. I have created the depreciation areas. How this document is posting finally, that we will see now.
What T code is this?
This same thing. So you are acquiring the assets, so the normal way only we're doing. Okay. So it will be posted in the same way, but when once we acquire, So what is documents, how it is differentiating, I mean, with the new configuration nodes, with the new reporting things, how it will be different, that I'm showing here. So
Okay,
if you
but
take
you
the
were
line,
also, yeah, you were saying there was no transaction types, but there is transaction types.
transaction types, it will be, I mean, transaction types is, it's basically, it will be shows you, but we need not to use those transactions. We need not to, for example, from depreciation areas, we wanted to, earlier we used to restrict those transaction types. We need not to use those transaction types, but still it is available. Those, I mean, those transaction
Okay.
types, it will be displayed to you, but you need not to use those transaction types.
Okay. Are you going to?
Need not to use means,
Mhm.
that means for the differentiation purpose, you can track it. But only the thing is, earlier we used to do in such a way, basically, only for restriction purpose, we need to, additionally, we need to we used to create additional transaction types and all. Those are not required. Got my point or not?
Yes, I got it. Are you going to do another acquisition?
Okay. Let's see this document. We'll analyze, and if you want further posting, you try it, and otherwise I will show it tomorrow. Once again, I'll post it. Okay, it's almost 9, so let me just, we will analyze this document and I'll post today, and tomorrow we will see some further. If you want to, we'll post some more documents, and from the front end, and also we will see the depreciation calculation, how it will be looks like, and some other screens also I will show you tomorrow. But today almost it is 9, so and I think I've given so many inputs today, so just go through all the things today, and let me close this with whatever the configuration we did. So what are the implications we have, that I am showing now. So rest of the things, we'll post some more documents and the depreciation point of view also, and some of the front end things that we will see tomorrow.
Okay. So, there, can you also send the missing classes downloaded document?
Sure,
That's
I'll
possible.
do that.
Can you send today's class also, Daya? Because like,
Yeah, sure. I'll do it now. I already received yesterday's with those two also. I'll share with you all these, all three together.
Okay,
And
thank you.
when you see the front end, then it will looks like this. So now you can see. So first let me show you the entry first, then we will see further things. The entry point of view, now the 0L, 0L, 2L, 2L, which I created there, right? So I posted 2 documents. It is showing the 2 documents here. Okay, so how it is showing, that we will see.
you are in the table. You are in the table. Like, is there a possibility if you go to details? Or we are not in the general ledger view of the document.
Yes. So let me go here.
Go try in FB03. Probably you can find it. Our accounting document is there.
Yeah. So for 0L, it is posted for the 0L, and the same accounting principle. Let me show you. I think it says new screens. Yes, accounting, not accounting document. Yeah, here 3 documents you can see here. Accounting document for 0L it is posting, because I created in the same way for 0L and 2L. 2 accounting principles we have, and 2 depreciation
That's it.
areas we have. Okay, so first transaction, and it will be posted only for asset, and second transaction in the second leg, the valuation part. User entry point, user only can able to see this information. That's it. Got it? Got my point or not? So user
Yeah.
can able to see the user entries. The first leg only you will see. But when you go inside, then it will show you this second leg, the valuation part. It is valuating for the 0L as well as it is valuating for the 2L. clear? Up to this, if you are clear, is okay. Then we will see the further things. Especially those are all not changed much, but only the depreciation point of view. The new screens are adding, when new dimensions are coming there, and everywhere you can see the depreciation area, accounting principles, and all those stuff. Let's do. I mean, look into those things as well tomorrow, and some other things also. The configuration point of view, only this much only, but understanding is very important. If you are miss some understanding, and then you cannot do the configuration, and you will face a lot of issues. Okay, this is the final output for the configuration which we did. Okay, and rest of the things from the depreciation point of view and other front end, there are so many apps are added. Those apps we will see, and also depreciation also we will see, depreciation calculation and all those things. And now we have a facility to calculate the depreciation for the multiple company codes, and also asset level we are tracking, we are calculating, I mean we are tracking the depreciation. And those are all the things from the depreciation end and the theory point of view that we will see tomorrow. That will take minimum 1.5 hours tomorrow. So let's do it tomorrow. I think just to go through, don't create first one any other company code. You follow only this company code and observe all the things. Then if you wanted to copy this, you follow this and create your own company code from scratch. Then only it will work.
Okay.
You need to do the setup, the currency types and ledgers and all those stuff in the general ledger, and finally you need to come back and to do in the same way. That will take a lot of time. It will not easy for you to, I mean, you'll face a lot of issues also. So whenever you have a time, 3-4 hours time, so then you can sit on the system and do all the things by following only this company code. Okay, I'll help you in case you face any issues, then I will resolve those as well, not a problem. Okay, but you do practice and don't add multiple things at a time. Create only one particular ledger and add only one particular depreciation area, only one currency. Then you add one more depreciation area and one more accounting principle, and then you can add multiple currencies. So then you see the result, and do it and run the front end again, you see the result also, analyze there. Then that will give a very clear picture. But understanding point of view, this is enough. But if you do it more, then you will be remember the things accordingly, and you will learn so many things also there while doing the things. But as of now, I mean the concept which we covered, if you have any doubts, and let's discuss to 10 more minutes, or we'll discuss tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can discuss tomorrow. Yeah, it's clear. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks both. Thanks. Have a nice day.
No problem. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you.